All right, we're back in the wagon again today, and if it sounds a little loud, the exhaust cutouts are not open. It's a somewhat low car with a long wheelbase, and I let someone who will remain unnamed use the car to go camping, and they took it down like this little kind of trail and caught a rock and just ripped the exhaust system off the car. So I've got it held up with a ratchet strap right now. My hoist is tied up with the RX-7 because we're waiting on parts to get the front end back together. So I'm limping it over to my dad's shop, which is about 7 miles away. I'm really hoping that it doesn't heat up the ratchet strap too much and burn a hole through that, because that's like one of my 3 good ones left. The driver's side I'm not worried about because that's completely disconnected, but the passenger side I think is still connected. So I'm not going to make a whole new exhaust system. I don't want to buy all the pipe. I'm hoping we have enough pipe left over there that is the right size to kind of cobble this back together. Unfortunately, the cutouts completely destroyed. Like they're goners. I'll show you more when we get over to his place and hopefully get the car lifted up, but they gone. Alright, so on the surface, the passenger side doesn't look too bad, but when you look at it like this, you can see the motor for the cutout is just completely shanked. The driver's side got completely ripped off. You can see where the rock caught this. It ripped the wiring out of the motor, bent that motor up too, so they probably don't work now, I'd imagine. Over here, it split this X pipe right there and split this like little brace. I think it'll be an easy fix, because honestly what I'll probably do is just go from up here, cut the X pipe completely out, and just join the pipe in back here so it is true ass duals all the way back. You know, it's a bummer, but it is what it is. It already happened, it already broke, so there's no point in crying about it. The thing that I am pretty bummed about is as I was pulling the car into the garage just now, it blew a brake line. And I'm like, man, are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is it at least one easy to get to? Probably not. They never are. Well, I'm going to ignore that for now and hack this X pipe off and see if we can kind of get that taken care of somewhat quickly. I'm pretty sure this pipe that we have here is the same size. I think that's 2.5. I'll measure in a second to check, but this is all 2.5. Alright, got the passenger side made and bent up. Just had to put like a, I don't know, 2 to 3 degree bend here and then like a 10 or so degree bend in here just to help keep it off the floor. Fits in here nice and snug. This side I'm going to pound this down a little bit just because there's weird angles that I just don't feel like taking the time to do pie cuts and all that shit. So I'm just going to hammer this in, kind of fold it around, and then I'm just MIG welding it anyway, so I'll just fill that in. No big deal. But yeah, up here, totally fine. This is 2 1/4, a little over 2 1/4 outside diameter. This is 2.5 outside diameter. So it fits pretty well. I mean, on this thing, it's a stock engine, so it's not like I'm real concerned with exhaust flow or anything like that. If I was, I wouldn't have cats and then these massive mufflers and then some resonators back there too. But yeah, those bends actually turned out pretty well for just using right there. As long as you're not doing too tight of an angle, it's fine. I'd say like up to maybe 20 degrees. It's probably the max before it starts crushing it. But now that I know that, I might be able to try to do this kind of nicely. So this is coming out at this angle. I might be able to, I don't know, we'll see. Let me get this one figured out first and then we'll move on to that one before I make any promises I know I can't keep. Alright, got the bottoms all welded. Still got to fill this gap and then do the top, but I'll unbolt it and drop that down to do it. I want to start working on this side, get that knocked out real quick, get it all welded up, and then fix the brake line up front. And hopefully have a running and driving 1994 Buick Roadmaster Estate wagon again. You know, to be honest, I've been kind of debating on selling it. Like, I mostly just drive the crew cab around now. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll start driving it more once I got the exhaust fixed. But if anybody is interested in it, I mean, obviously it's a Michigan car, so it's not perfect, but I'd sell it for a fair price. Alright, so this side should be somewhat simple. That goes straight up to the relief in the cross member here. And then it looks like, I don't know, like around a 20-degree bend if I wanted to bend it in here to go straight into this pipe. I'm gonna try that and we'll see how it works. The benefit of that is I'll be able to get a pretty decent bend in here before it starts to crush itself on that pipe bender. Because if you try to bend it like after I cut it, then the this like little roller here, if it's too close to the end of the pipe, it'll actually like just crush into that. Typically what you'll see with crushing is it'll like flatten itself here once it starts to get on too tight of an angle. So that's why we can't go too far. Like 15-20 degrees is probably the most I think we'll be able to get with this. We might be able to go a little bit further, but I don't think we'll have to. It's not a super tight bend to get into the collector up there. Alright, so I ended up putting two bends in this one too. You can see one right here, one right here. I don't know where the best angle would be. It's slid all the way up to here, so I am going to have to cut it. Well, I could cut it up in here too, because it still has to go back a little bit more to clear this, but it's in the recess up here. I kind of want to put a little more bend here to help kind of kick all this that way a touch more, and then maybe do a counter bend going this way to bring it back in line with this pipe. Let's see, you can see like right in here how it gets narrow. You might be able to see it on camera, or right here's where the roller crushed it, and then you can tell right in here it widens out this way, but it gets narrower that way because it's starting to crush it. So we couldn't really go much more than that. Like I said, with those pipe benders you can't really do exhaust pipe. They're definitely for thick wall stuff, but you know, in a pinch, come on dude, what the fuck? They are definitely for thick wall stuff, but obviously in a pinch, it's working out pretty okay. Oh my god. Can you guys even hear it running? It's so fucking quiet. It's so quiet, I can only hear the engine. That's kind of hilarious. We got all of our ground clearance back. which is sick. It sounds like at the collector it has like that ball and socket type joint. It sounds like there's a little puff coming from there, but aside from that, this thing's quiet as hell. So I think we're gonna call that a success. We got like all of our ground clearance back. So god damn it. We got like all of our ground clearance back, which is perfect because I live out in the country. These roads are trash, and sometimes there's like little whoops in them, so the car goes whoa. Could bottom out a couple times. It's quiet as hell, which is perfect for hauling the kids around, because you know, when they fall asleep, I want them to stay asleep. I guess a real short exhaust without the cats would do the same thing too. It would keep them asleep for a while. I don't know, man. I never thought I'd be stoked to have such a quiet car, but it is definitely nice to have something quiet to just jump in and go and be able to hear yourself think. I am gonna miss kind of fucking around with these things though. Oh well, it is what it is. So that is definitely gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time.